Hello, class. So today we're going to be doing an art project. Here I have a hand that has lines on it, but they kind of curve when they're inside the hand. So it makes the hand look like it's coming out from the lines. Now, before we get into this art project today, we're going to be learning about all the different elements of art. And one of the first elements of art that I want everybody to learn about is line. So what is a line? Now, you might see something like that and say, well, that's a line. But what makes it a line? It starts at one point and it comes to another point and it's connected. Okay? So most of the time you might see a line just like this that's straight and you say, well, there's a line. But here's what's fun about using lines in art. They can do a lot of different things. So for example, I can take my line and I can make a squiggly line. Or I could make a zigzag line. What if I take my line and I make boxes with it? Or I take my line and I make swirlies. These are all lines because they start at one point and then they end at another point. Another thing that you can do with lines is you can make them really thick lines, make them a bit thinner, even the thinnest. Okay, maybe you do a dashed line or a dotted line. Or maybe you do some cross hatching with your lines. Okay, so these are just different kinds of lines that we can use, and this is used all the time in art to create beautiful things. Now, I do want to point out, if I take my line and I start at one point and I go somewhere with it and then I bring it back together and it comes back to the first point, that's no longer a line anymore. That's now a shape. So that's not a line. I could take my line and bring it and almost connect it. As long as it doesn't connect back to that first point that I made, this is still a line. All right, so now to our art project. So to make this art project, you'll need a piece of paper, you'll need a pencil, and something to color with. I'm using a marker to trace with, and the reason that I'm doing that is that I want it to show up really bright. I want you to be able to see what this looks like, but I don't recommend using a marker because you'll see here, I'm about to trace my hand. I was practicing this earlier, and Miss Bennett got black marker all over her hand, and I'm about to get more all over my hand. So don't use a marker at home, use a pencil. But what I'm going to do, I have my paper landscape. That's when I have it long ways. If it was up the tall way, it'd be vertical. But I have it landscape or horizontal. Okay. So I'm going to place my hand on here, make sure my wrist kind of comes off the side, and take my pencil, not a marker, not like Miss Ben's doing, and I am going to trace from my wrist up and around my fingers, back down to the end of my wrist. Okay? And see, this is exactly why you don't want to use marker. I've got marker all over my hands. Okay. Now that I have my hand traced, I am going to be creating different lines. The two lines that I have here are straight lines going horizontal, and I have curved lines inside my hand. Again, I'm going to be using markers, but I don't necessarily recommend using markers. I'm using them so you can see really well and so that I can go quickly. Choose 3 or 4 colors. You don't want to choose more than 3 or 4, or this is going to take you a long time, and it's also going to get really confusing, okay? So here's my 3 colors. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on the background. Don't color inside the hand. I'm only coloring in the background, and I'm making lines. So I'm going to take this blue color, and I'm going to draw a straight line that goes across. I skip the hand, and then I keep going across. Okay? Then I could go in a pattern, or I could just skip over with blue. I'm going to skip over with blue. I'm going to leave some space and make another line here. I'm going to skip the hand and go straight across. Okay, and I'm just going to do that, skip the hand, go straight across. I'll keep doing that with blue. I tried to leave enough space between my blue marks to put in my other 2 colors. If you're using crayons or colored pencils, making these lines will probably take longer, and that's okay. Take your time. Don't feel like you need to go as fast as me. And definitely, if you need to, you can pause the video and bring it back in when you're ready to go. Okay. So now I have my blue lines coming across. Okay. I'll start in with my second color. And I'm just going to put those lines right above the other ones. And again, I'm skipping the hand. I want my lines to be straight, and I don't want them inside the hand. I turned my hand sideways as I'm drawing because it's easier for me to make the lines from this angle. Always feel free to turn the paper the way that would be easiest for you to draw. Okay, I just have one more color to use. And you see I made a little mistake. I got it inside my hand, and it's okay. I'm just going to keep right on going. It's still going to be great. Okay, take pink. I'm really excited about the colors I chose. These are fun. All right. And I just noticed that I missed a line here where green should have been. So I'm going to go back, just going to put that in. Easy peasy. Okay. So I'm getting my lines in. And once I'm done putting these across, then I'll focus on my hand. Inside the hand, what we're going to do is we're going to draw curved lines. We just drew straight lines, and now we're going to draw curved lines, and it's going to help make it seem like the hand is popping out from the page. Okay, so I'm going to start again with blue. And remember, a line is just connecting 2 points. So here's one point of my blue, and I'm going to try to connect it to this point of blue. But I'm going to make a curved line from one point to the other. So starting here at the first point, I'm going to make a curve and then connect it at the next point. So it curved, but it comes back together to match with my blue line at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to keep doing that. Make a curve, and I'm connecting my blue lines right here. Okay, here's my blue lines right here. So I'm going to go from here to here, but I'm curving it. Here to there, but I curve it. Okay, here's my next set of blue lines from here to there, but I curve it. Now notice I'm going to run into my finger here. So I'm going to bring this line over to the edge of my hand, and then I'm going to make another little curve inside the thumb. Okay? Here are my next 2 lines that I'm connecting with a curved line. Okay? Here are my next 2 lines I'm connecting with a curved line. Now, here are 2 points, but there's blue in between. And I need to do little curves on each finger. So I'm connecting this point to that point, this point to that point, there to there, here to here, with little curved lines inside of the fingers. Same thing here. Blue to blue, blue to blue, blue to blue, blue to blue. And I have a bit of blue up here, but it's going to curve inside like that. Maybe I'll curve the bottom there. Okay, let's do our green. And same process. Okay, so here's a green line, there's a green line. I'm connecting those 2 points, but I'm making it curved on the inside. Okay, connecting my 2 green lines, but making it curved. Connecting my 2 green lines, making it curved. It might help you to point it out here. So I'm going to connect to this green line and then a little jump in there. Connect to that green line and then a little jump inside the thumb. Okay? Green to green, green to green. All right. A jump here, a jump there, because I'm connecting the green lines across the fingers. Okay. And there we go. Now I'm going to focus on pink. All right. So I'm connecting this pink line to that pink line, this pink to that pink, and you'll notice that there's space here, and I'll show you how to fix that later. Right now, I'm just focusing on connecting one pink line to the next pink line, one pink line to the next pink line, pink to pink, pink to pink, pink to pink, and up here. Okay. So you'll notice that there's some gaps that are in here, and I'll show you how to fix this. First off, down here, you just have to imagine what kind of pattern would go next. Now I know below blue, there's pink. All right, and below pink, I have green. And below green, I have blue. So now I have that filled in. Okay. Now I have this area, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make all of my lines a little bit thicker to fill in the space, okay? So I'm going to make this green line a little bit thicker, okay? I'm going to make my pink line a little bit thicker to kind of fill in that space, and I'll make my blue line a little bit thicker to fill in that space. Okay, same thing here. There's a little bit of a space, so I'll just take the line that's closest to it, make it a little bit thicker. I'll make this blue line a little bit thicker. Okay, there's some space here, so I'll fill that in. Some space here, I'll fill that in with some pink. Okay, and the space here with blue. And this is what I'm talking about. The more we know about line, how to connect them, how to make them thicker, the more we can fill in our artwork and make it look more vibrant. Okay, I'm just filling in the spaces. And pretty much here we have it. Our hand that looks like it's coming out from the lines. Here's my one that I did with crayon, which if you guys have crayon or colored pencil, it'll probably look more like that one, but both really fun. Okay, I hope you enjoy.